Hello, fellow Morleyites. This is Doc Bob here. I am horrible at videotaping, but I was unable to attend class a couple weeks ago, and as part of my penance, Morley assigned me to do a little lab experiment here. This is kind of a version of the Fenton reaction where you have hydrogen peroxide and iron interacting. They use that to make a hydroxyl radical, which, as you probably know, is really nasty to things and blows up bacteria and purifies water and so on. So we're going to do that here with the added little twist of ascorbic acid. So I'm going to turn it around now and show you what we've got. We're using good old ascorbic acid, vitamin C crystals, as well as the 3% hydrogen peroxide, and then of course ferrous sulfate, which is essentially the supplements that people use, they shouldn't be using, for added iron to their diet, which we know is a no-no, but that's what happens. And this is what happens when we break the rules there. Now, I've also added something interesting, a temperature here. I'm giving you a temperature of the two test tubes, the ones on the left here. 72 degrees on the one on the left, and then the right is 72.3 degrees. They're real similar. The two on the right over here that I did previous, you can see the one on the left in that batch is basically hydrogen peroxide and iron, and then the one on the right is hydrogen peroxide with a little bit of ascorbic acid. And you'll see what happens here to not only temperature, but just the violence of the reaction, which is pretty impressive. So first off, we're going to take the iron and put a little bit of that, just one small scoop, which is probably not more than about 25 milligrams, I would say, maybe less. Put it on the one on the left here, and you can see how it goes kind of crazy. I'm going to be quiet just for a second. Don't know if you can hear it, but it's bubbling like crazy. And then on the one on the right, oh, and that temperature, by the way, is about 75 degrees. It goes up a little bit, 74.9. It goes up a little bit more than just a few degrees, and we'll measure it again here in a minute. So then I take some of the vitamin C and put some of the crystals, just again, probably not more than about 20 milligrams or so. I'm going to put it in the one on the right with just the hydrogen peroxide, and it really doesn't have any kind of a reaction that we can see. We know it's reacting at a real micro level, but nothing violent and certainly no temperature. And then we're going to take the same amount of iron, which again is just probably 20 milligrams or thereabouts, and put it in the one over here on the right. And look at that reaction. I hope you can hear that. The one on the left, the temperature is now about 86 degrees. The one on the right was a very, very violent reaction. It's now at 80 degrees, and when I feel it, it's actually warm to the touch. It should be going up here, 91. The one on the left is 82 degrees, the one on the right. If I measure it right, it's at now 108 degrees. And it actually, from the previous experiment, actually goes up quite a bit. The one on the left is down to like 83 degrees. So we see how just such a violent, quick reaction, and that's what a catalyst will do. A catalyst speeds things up. If you feel it, the tube is warm to the touch. And some of the experiments I've done previously, they were hot to the touch. I could not hold it. The one on the left is just barely warm. And so that just kind of illustrates the violence of adding vitamin C, i.e. ascorbic acid, to the normal Fenton reaction, which is already harsh on us. Adding the vitamin C it makes things, hotter and a much more violent reaction. Okay, Morley, I've done my penance, so now it's over to you.